Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and hey, guys, listen, if you hear a baby in the background, don't worry, I only stole it 2 hours ago. But how's it going, guys? This is episode 138. This is going to be a really fun show. We're going to talk about some Ghostbusters to 2016 action, get inside that Ghostbusters awesomeness. And then The Infiltrator starring Bryan Cranston. And, of course, I'm going to have my thoughts on some news and a shit ton of trailers because a shit ton of trailers have dropped. If you're watching on YouTube and you want a audio-only version of the podcast, you want to go link will be in the description below. If you're listening on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, SoundCloud, whatever tickles your fancy, then the link will be in the description below for a video review or a video view, so you can, I guess, I don't know, I guess see what I look like. And then, of course, if you're watching on Facebook Live, welcome. How you doing, guys? And comment down below. You can comment that I'm a douchebag. You can do just that. And I'll call you out on air. No, I'm just kidding. But if you guys want to talk to me or whatever, then you can go down below for that. And it's really cool because if you are watching on Facebook Live or YouTube today, the news that I'm going to have is over the Entertainment Weekly photos that just got spilled out all over Entertainment Weekly's cover of the Comic-Con special. So that will be a lot of fun. I'll get to show you the pictures as I talk about them and stuff. And then, like I said, shit ton of trailers, Ghostbusters, Infiltrator, and then, of course, box office results for the weekend. But first of all, how you guys doing? You guys doing pretty good? This has been an interesting week for movies because the Ghostbusters is one of the most controversial movies to ever hit the age group of males from 30 to 33. So, hey, if you were bitching about Ghostbusters, what did I think of it? Well, you just have to find out. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into this. Let's get this going. All right. So first, let's start with the news, which is the Entertainment Weekly photos. We're going to look at it together. So open up your magazines and let's read along in class, everyone. All right. So, what should we look at first? I'm trying to pick up the ones that look a little decent. Oh, okay. So let's talk about this one first. All right. Hold on. Gotta move on. Okay. So if you can see right here on YouTube and, of course, Facebook Live, you have the look of Pennywise, which is the creature that will give you nightmares until you're at least, 80 years old. So this photo looks fucking awesome. If you guys don't know who Pennywise is, he is the clown off of the Stephen King book It, and of course he was adapted by Tim Curry in the what were they called, television movies, I guess. So yeah, I really like the old It from back in the day with Tim Curry. It's very creepy. It's very I don't want that fucking thing in my room type of deal. So I was really stoked to kind of hear that they're going to redo It. And this picture, guys, look at that shit. If that doesn't scare the shit out of you, if you're not scared of clowns now, congratulations. I just put that fear into you. But it's going to be played by Bill Skarsgård. And I didn't know that the Skarsgård family clan was expanding to 30 now. Because, you have Alexander Skarsgård. You have Stellan Skarsgård, Peter Skarsgård. Jesus, the whole fucking Skarsgård family is just acting. And I don't know who's who. I'm kidding. So one of the next pictures I want to kind of look at is this Wonder Woman spread right here with Gal Gadot in her getup. If you're watching on Facebook Live, look at that. Listen, I really like BVS quite a bit, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And one of my favorite parts was her in it. And I am excited to see her solo movie and stuff. And just looking through some of these pictures, one of them, she's in the woods with Chris Pine. It looks like they're about to make love next to a bunch of woodland creatures. Then you have her with one of the director. Looks pretty cool. Looks like she's wielding her shield in this one. So, I mean, if you can see from the spread right here, it looks like, they're going to take care of this character. I mean, it looks pretty legit. So I'm pretty happy with the way Gal Gadot's spread came out. I mean, pictures. All right, so the next one. Oh shit! I didn't even see this, and I didn't even fucking see this until I flipped it over. Okay, so I got, hey, breaking news. I can turn pages now. This is what I get for not reading books. Here's a picture of Skull Island. The King Kong prequel, I guess, sequel, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Stars Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, looks like John C. Reilly, and John Goodman. And from this picture, it looks pretty fucking epic. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say about that. Then you flip the page over. All right, so this page is pretty cool because you have a Doctor Strange photo, which is just another one of Benedict Cumberbatch looking all LSD-like and just kicking all the ass as Doctor Strange. And then you have a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 image, and it looks really cool. The whole gang is there, including Baby Groot. I mean, look how fucking adorable he is. I just want to like feed him water and just watch him grow. Like he just looks so adorable. And then there's a Power Rangers picture of Elizabeth Banks as Rita Ora, and she looks kind of cool. The thing is with Power Rangers is that I was born in the 90s, and I grew up with it, unfortunately. Is it cheesy? Yes, but I did enjoy watching them every so often. It wasn't like, the best show on television, but hey, as a 90s kid, Power Rangers was the fucking jam, yo. So, yeah, this picture looks really cool, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the reboot. They have a couple King Arthur photos. Let me show it on the YouTubes and Facebook Live. Okay, there's Charlie Hunnam right there. Okay. All right, so King Arthur is going to be directed by Guy Ritchie, and it stars Charlie Hunnam, Jude Law, and a bunch of other colorful group of people. And it looks like it's going to be like a darker take on King Arthur, which is kind of cool because we haven't really had like a dark, I guess, take on the property or whatever. So I'm kind of excited to check it out. And Jude Law looks like fucking Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator. Check it out. Check out that shit. Yeah, you don't want to come across that guy's path. So yeah, these pictures from King Arthur look pretty sweet. Oh, okay. And then the last piece of Entertainment Weekly photos and the last piece of news, I guess. Guys, this was a slow news week. However, I'm going to make it up to you because there's like, I think 12 trailers to talk about. I can't even talk right now. All right, so here's some of the concept art for Harley Quinn, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. Kind of. I don't know. I'm kind of like so on it. I don't know. I like the look that they give her in the movie and stuff, but like I don't know. I'm not digging that zombie looking fucking outfit right here. That one looks kind of cool or whatever, and I like her tats and stuff, but I'm super excited to see Suicide Squad and whatnot, and yeah, I'm really excited for that. And it comes out in 2 weeks, so that will be on 2 weeks from now on this podcast. Okay, and I forgot to mention, okay, so I like receiving my Entertainment Weekly in the mail. Like, I get home on Friday, and like I just don't do anything with my life, and I really like coming home, getting that mail key, and be like, hey, listen, I can't wait to like feel that warm magazine in my hand because it's been out in the sun and in the mailbox for 5 hours. So I grab it for this week. I'm like, okay, Comic-Con preview. This is pretty cool. What the fuck? Look at this fucking cover. What is this? Matthew McConaughey looks like he's doing some fucking magician trick, and then Idris Elba just looks like, why am I here? Like, look at this terrible like Photoshop job. And it's supposed to be for The Dark Tower, which is a Stephen King book and stuff. And I realize it deals with a lot of sorcery and stuff, but dude, McConaughey looks fucking dumb in that pose. Like, I don't know. It's like one of the worst Entertainment Weekly covers I've seen in a while. It just looks very Photoshop and fake and shit. So, yeah, there you go. All right, so that is it for the news, guys. Sorry, once again, slow news week. I realize that Star Wars Celebration is happening right now in London, but I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I don't know what's going on. I'm not in the loop. Sorry. Yeah, so, let's move on to some trailers. There's a shit ton to talk about. And I know for one of my friends is going to be super excited about, and he's actually in this apartment right now. So, all right. The first trailer I want to talk about it actually came out 2 weeks ago, but I didn't talk about trailers last week because I had the top 10 of the year so far. So I'm going to talk about GOAT. And if you guys don't know what GOAT is, it stars Nick Jonas and James Franco, and it follows a few kids that are joining a fraternity and they get hazed and stuff and kind of going through the hazing process and whatnot. It looks awesome. It looks like very psychologically damning and stuff, and kind of like sheds a light in this whole like hazing kind of culture that we have in colleges and stuff. So, I mean, it looks really interesting. I love the quote in it that says it's Full Metal Jacket meets Animal House. You've got me fucking sold, man. Those are two of my favorite movies of all time. So, yeah, I'm totally down for that. But it looks really great. It looks like a really great drama and stuff. So It's based on a book, so I would like to read the book because I'm sure it's really graphic and disturbing and whatnot, and what people have to go through in terms of hazing. But yeah, I like this trailer and stuff, so I'm totally down for that. The next trailer I'm going to talk about is Other People, and this stars Jesse Plemons and Molly Shannon. I've actually seen this movie. I saw it in April at the Dallas International Film Festival, and I really loved it quite a bit. Molly Shannon has cancer, and we basically just see her in her last final days. I know it's really depressing and stuff because it is depressing. And Jesse Plemons plays the son, and they just kind of like take care of her and stuff, and it's just family drama and whatnot. I really fucking love this movie, and I can tell you guys this right now. Molly Shannon has the potential to get an Oscar nomination. I firmly believe she does. Like, it is an out of the park performance, man. Like, it's fucking incredible to see like these primarily comedic actors and actresses take on these more dramatic roles and stuff. It really pays off in this trailer. And like I said, I've seen the movie. You can see my review on my YouTube channel right now. But just judging by the trailer, I think it displayed it perfectly. So watch the trailer, and if you really like it, I highly suggest Other People. It's a really, really good one. And it'll make you really depressed throughout the rest of the day, but that's okay. The next trailer I want to talk about is Loving. This stars Joel Edgerton, Michael Shannon, and basically every single member of the Jeff Nichols crew. And who is Jeff Nichols, you may ask? He is the guy who directed Mud, directed Take Shelter, Midnight Special, and I believe that's it. And so I saw Mud first before anything else, and I was really kind of blown away on how he wrangled in McConaughey and made him deliver a really great performance. And you know, I really liked the story. It just felt like a nice coming of age tale and stuff. It was a nice little mystery and whatnot. So I really enjoyed Mud. And then I went back and saw Take Shelter. That's a great I saw Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain performance movie. And Midnight Special was okay. It was kind of disappointing to me, but it's whatever. But in terms of this trailer, his fourth outing, or his fifth outing, sorry. It looks really good. Like, Joel Edgerton plays this guy who's getting married to this African-American woman, and it's set in the 50s, I believe. That just shows you how much I know about history. Don't worry, guys. I graduated high school barely. I thought it was really powerful, and I really liked the imagery. The cinematography was really good, and I loved all the character moments, and just the way the trailer kind of played out was just really emotional and heavy. And I'm just like, dude, I really want to fucking see this movie. So Loving is the new directorial adventure from Jeff Nichols, who did Mud, Take Shelter, and Midnight Special. Check it out if you're a fan of his movies, and check it out if you're just a fan of romance movies in general. Loving is a damn good trailer. All right, the next trailer I want to talk about is A Monster Calls, and this stars Felicity Jones, Liam Neeson as a talking rock monster. And you're thinking to yourself, well, you just fucking lost me. Well, once I said rock monster, I kind of figured. I forgot who the kid is, but essentially, I think his mom is dying or something like that. So he starts kind of imagining this like rock monster voiced by Liam Neeson, and it's kind of like his conscience, I guess. That's what I kind of gathered from the trailer. It's his conscience, and throughout the whole trailer, it's like, telling him how to deal with life and how to move on from death and destruction around you, and just tell him that it's a part of life and you just have to deal with it and stuff. And so I thought it was a really good trailer. It kind of reminded me of like a Pan's Labyrinth. Yes, it kind of does look like the BFG, the big fucking giant, the one that Steven Spielberg just did. So it has like little bits and pieces of that, but I mean, that's just because the movie just came out. But the trailer looks like it's going to deal a lot with adult situations and like death and how to move on from that kind of situation and stuff. It looks really good, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. It is now on my radar. So A Monster Calls. Liam Neeson plays a giant rock monster. It is fantastic. The next trailer I want to talk about is the Red Band trailer for White Girl, and I also saw this movie at the Dallas International Film Festival. This trailer is chaotic. It is hardcore because it is Red Band. There's a lot of sex. There's a lot of drugs, and it pretty much captured what the movie was. And I thought the movie was okay. I thought there was a lot of really great bits in terms of the way the story kind of played out and some of the plot points and stuff. But I also thought it was just some of the characters were really dumb, and that it was the main characters and like you're trying to follow them and stuff. And you're like, oh, fuck me, I really don't want to follow these people. They're idiots. So I was like half and half on it, but I did like think the ending was like super powerful and stuff. I really like the ending. But the trailer represented it pretty well. It's about this girl that goes to, I believe she's in New York. She gets an apartment with her roommate, and then she starts dating a drug dealer, and then chaos ensues for the whole family. So, listen, if you like kind of like those like drug type movies and stuff, like those, of a person getting trapped in that cycle of drug addiction and whatnot, I think this is the movie for you. I really enjoy it quite a bit. I have seen it. I was split on it. If you want to check out my full review, YouTube channel, it is on there. The next one I want to talk about is Transpecos. Don't worry, guys. I took Latin in high school, and I still suck ass at it. But no, I didn't take Spanish, so I don't know what the correct pronunciation is. But I actually saw this at Dallas International Film Festival, too, and this was one of my favorite ones. So essentially, it follows 3 Border Patrol members, and they get into, like, I actually don't even want to spoil it because I didn't really know much about it going into the movie, and I was actually shocked at some of the stuff that was happening. I was like, man, this is pretty good. I'm glad I didn't know shit about this. But I would say that you shouldn't watch the trailer. You should just watch it if it interests you. I'm just going to say 3 Border Patrol members, they find something, and they have to go on the hunt to try to retrieve it. That's all I'm going to say, and it's pretty awesome. It's just a really great thriller. Great suspense. Great characters, great dialogue. It is fast. It holds you by your neck, and it does not let go. Specos, because I'm white and I don't know any fucking Spanish. I'm sorry. Anyways, that trailer was great, but you don't need to watch it because I think it just spoils a little bit too much and stuff. So please just check out the movie if you are curious about this little indie flick. And we have 2 more trailers to talk about. One of which I cannot believe is still fucking happening, but fuck me, right? All right, it's Boo, a Madea Halloween. Why do these movies keep getting made? Like, I don't understand, like, why? Just Tyler Perry, we saw you in Gone Girl. You've been in other movies. Like, can't we just, like, move on from Tyler Perry, move on from Tyler Perry? Can we just move on from the Madea character and just fucking let it go? Now, listen, I got a couple friends that love that shit, and hey, good for them. We're not friends anymore. I'm kidding. No, I watched a couple of them in the theaters with them. They're fine. They're whatever. They're just not for me. And they're slightly funny to me. I don't like, roll on the floor fucking laughing or anything, but this one seems to have Madea and a bunch of like spoof parodies of like horror films and stuff. And it looks slightly better than the other ones, but I still don't want to see. I'm not a fan of the Madea movies, but if you're a fan of the Madea movies, please let me know down below what you think of Boo, a Madea Halloween. God, that fucking title. Once again, don't call the cops. I will return the baby to its mother after the show. I'm kidding. One of my friends is over right now, so the baby is going crazy. So if you hear noises in the background, that's what it is. As far as Boo, a Madea Halloween, I thought it looked a little bit more entertaining. It had some nice set pieces and like, I don't know, like some good setups for good jokes or whatever. But it's still like the same Madea humor, like, oh hell no, children. Like I'm sorry, it's just not for me. But maybe this one will turn me around because I do like a good spoof movie, and it looks like it's going more spoofy than doing like, because the one thing I don't really like about the Madea movies is that they mix in like that really kind of like odd slapsticky humor, and then they'll drop it down to some drama, like with some real family issues, and it's like, I don't know if I'd fucking buy that. So I don't know, but this one looks better than the other one, so I'm sure I'll get dragged to Boo, a Madea Halloween. I just like fucking saying that. Boo, a Madea Halloween. That fucking title. All right, and the last trailer, and probably my favorite fucking trailer of the week, and probably of the year so far. It is just a teaser, and it's from the writer and director of Whiplash, which is one of the best films of all time, and it came out 2 years ago. So this one's called La La Land, and it stars Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, and it just looks so magical. It's a musical, and it looks like Damien Chazelle is going to go back to like the old days of the musicals, and like kind of like, the bright colors and just the peppy attitudes of the characters and stuff. I really like that shit, and the cinematography looks so gorgeous. Every single shot was composed well, lit well. It was just beauty upon you. And I was like, God, just give me this movie now. So listen, I will harp on this movie until the day I die. If you guys have not seen Whiplash, please fucking watch it. It is one of the best movies ever made. It is one of the best edited movies I've ever seen in my life. I majored in film in college, and I like to watch movies to kind of get better at my craft. Whiplash is one to look at if you want to get better at editing. It is so fucking good. But in terms of La La Land, I'm super excited just because I love Whiplash. I like what Damien Chazelle did. This one looks great. Cinematography looks great. The acting looks great. I don't even care what the movie's about. I am totally down from just watching whatever just from this teaser because it is that damn good. So, hello, Tony Estrada in Facebook Live. He's totally with me. He's like, I'm ashamed to say the trailer made me laugh a few times. He's talking about, boo, I'm a Madea Halloween. And of course, he's excited to see La La Land. It's just, guys, please watch Whiplash. And if you love it, then you'll get excited for La La Land. It comes out around Christmas time, and then I think opens everywhere nationwide in January, which me and Mr. Estrada in the Facebook chat room right now will probably get it in January because we live in Texas and we get everything 2 weeks later. Yeah, that's it for the trailers, guys. So yeah, my favorite one for sure is La La Land, and a second close one would be Loving. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Guys, this is breaking news. I purposely left the trailer off the list. What is it, you may ask? So, Sony keeps dropping these Baby Geniuses movies, and I'm just kind of baffled as to why. This one's called Baby Geniuses and the Super Baby. It looks like horse shit. It looks like a big old pile of shit dick, and I don't want to watch anything else from it. It looks awful. Yeah, I purposely left it on there because I did my list and I was like, okay, I got that one. And then when I was done, I was like, wait a minute, I forgot that shitty one. They're doing another Baby Geniuses movie because that's the most beloved franchise of all time. Just look it up on YouTube and just be shocked that they still make these fucking movies. Tony in the Facebook chat's like, why? Yeah, it looks awful. Check it out, Sony. And the thing is, it's not even a fucking trailer. It is literally just a clip of the movie. And there's no opening, there's no ending, there's no logo for a title. It's just, it starts and it ends. And it's like, is this a trailer or a clip to a shitty $5 movie that you find at your local 7-Eleven at 2 a.m. when you're drunk off your ass and you just want some fucking water to hydrate yourself? It looks awful. So that's it for the trailers, guys. So thank you for that. What was your favorite trailer of the week? I would like to know. Comment down below that face and let me know. All right. So let's get on to the main course. The entree, if you will. We have eaten the appetizers. They're all out of the fucking way. The movie news, the trailers are done. Now, I'm going to review the 2016 version of Ghostbusters and the Infiltrator. Now, I could be a dick and just do Ghostbusters last and totally hype it up and make you guys wait. Or I could be like, a good guy and, do it right now if you guys want that. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Should I do Ghostbusters first? Okay. You guys talked me into it. I'll fucking do Ghostbusters first because you guys want to get to it. So let's review Ghostbusters 2016. Okay. Now, before this movie came out, I was excited for this movie. I thought having an all-female cast in all four of the roles was kind of really cool. I'm glad they went there and stuff. I like the fact that Paul Feig was directing it, and he directed Bridesmaids, Spy, The Heat, and I actually like all three of those movies, but all three of those trailers to those movies sucked. So when the trailers for Ghostbusters came out, I was not sold at all. And so I was like, oh shit, this is like another Feig situation where, like, I don't know why his movies get mismarketed so easily, but this was definitely one of them. And then, of course, you have the backlash of all the hardcore fans that just, don't get touched by women that often. And they're just like, they just have to, like, masturbate to the old Ghostbusters and stuff, and they just get really, upset when people miss or mess with the Ghostbusters or whatever. I did not care because I got to be honest with you guys, I'm not like the biggest fan of the 80s Ghostbusters. I've seen it. I think it's fine. It's funny. It's entertaining, but I'm not like a huge hardcore fan. So let's get into this one. I don't know where to begin. I'm honestly perplexed. Even when I walked out of the movie, I was like, that wasn't bad, but it also wasn't very good. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's get real and break this shit down, everyone. So let me take a drink first because I'll be talking a lot. All right. So let's start with the writing and directing. In terms of the way the writing was handled, I think the story was entertaining enough to like keep your interest all the way through. So that's not the problem. When you market your movie as a comedy, I expect to fucking laugh. So if I don't really laugh, then you've already lost me. And I gotta say, like, this was one of the biggest issues with the movie is that it's simply not funny. And I'll tie into, I think, why in just a second. But the humor was like an 80-20 split. I thought 80% of the time it did not work. 20% of the time it did work and I was totally fine with it. But it just wasn't. I was sitting there and I was like, there was a couple parts that were entertaining. Like Leslie Jones was really funny and stuff. And I'm a huge fan of Kristen Wiig and even Melissa McCarthy to a point. And they just were not that funny. But here's why I think that is the reason. I think this movie's rating really hurt it. Paul Feig's other movies were rated R. So deep down, I kind of wanted this to be rated R, but this is a humongous blockbuster franchise. Sony's not going to roll the dice with that shit. So I get it from a business point of view. Now, the first Ghostbusters was before the PG-13 rating, so it was rated PG, but it was a little risque for children and stuff, but I don't mind like an edgier kids film. I think that's really cool because even as kids, you guys remember that shit. Like there'd be some pretty hard edge PG movies that like, yeah, I feel so adult now. I love when movies kind of push those boundaries and stuff and make kids have these adult like movies and really kind of stimulate their mind a little bit instead of throwing a bunch of like poop and fart humor, like, so the humor was the downfall, and the rating, I think, suffered a lot. I think what they should have done was either go really hard with the PG-13 or go a little softer with the PG. I'm not making this shit up, guys. There was a queefing joke in this movie. And I'm sitting there, as a 26-year-old, looking around, and there's mostly kids in this audience, by the way. Their parents took them to it. And when that queefing joke happened, I was like, what kind of fucking kid's going to get that? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. And I felt like they were trying to go for that edge and stuff, but they just ultimately just didn't go far enough. And I was like, this is like a weird in-between of a PG and a PG-13. I was like, hey, you should have just gone either way with it. You should have gone all the way with it or went a little bit more kid-friendly. I don't fucking know. But with that queefing joke, I was like, thanks. Thanks for that. So, hey, listen, in my sick, twisted mind, would have I liked to have seen a rated R Ghostbusters? Fuck yeah, I would. But let's face facts, they're not going to do it. So they should have went a hard PG-13 or a kind of harder, soft PG type of mix. Where I don't know. But I think that's what really killed it because the humor was so out of place in some scenes and it just didn't work in other scenes. But some of them really did catch me off guard in terms of the jokes and the one-liners and stuff from Leslie Jones and Chris Hemsworth. So that stuff was fine. As far as the way... So I said the story was like pretty much entertaining for the most part. But the main villain in this film sucked ass. It was just a dude pissed off at the world. And I'm so sick and tired of seeing those as villains because they're just one note. They're just a bunch of freaking douchebag nerds that are just, getting all sweaty because someone called them an idiot in a GameStop one time. And now they want to take over the world. So I didn't care for the villain. And like even at the end battle, it was so anticlimactic and stuff, and I was like, so yeah, the villain was super weak, very one-dimensional, completely useless. The characters themselves, the four Ghostbusters, Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy and Leslie Jones did a pretty great job. I thought Kate McKinnon was a little too slapsticky, a little too hokey and stuff. She was kind of like all over the place. She was like a Jim Carrey rubber face from the 90s. I didn't really care for it. I didn't really buy her as a character. I didn't buy her as an engineer of sorts because she was the one that made all the guns and whatnot. So I didn't really buy her, but I did buy Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy. And I especially bought Leslie Jones because Leslie Jones is us. She is the audience perspective because she is not a scientist. She's just a person that works in the subway and stuff. So I bought her character the most for sure. And I bought Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy. They sold it. Kate McKinnon did not. So that's pretty much it for the writing. Directing wise, Paul Feig didn't really do anything like spectacular here in terms of like tone, style, or whatever. It just seemed like a very generic little comedy that you would get in your local Blockbuster if they were still around on a Friday night because you had nothing else better to do. It was fine. It was probably the most average and bland Paul Feig movie I've seen so far. However, I did see sparks. I did see a little greatness in some scenes dealing with the ghosts and stuff because Paul Feig can do not horror, but like very suspenseful type of building scenes very well. And I was actually really impressed. I was like, yeah, Paul, you fucking get him, man. So I didn't really think he added in terms of the style or whatever, but I did find shades of brilliance in terms of the way the ghosts were portrayed and stuff because I thought the ghosts were handled pretty well and stuff, except for the main villain at the very end. Yikes. And the last thing I'm going to talk about directing. Okay, so gotta take my glasses off for this. All right, so I'm not like the biggest fan of cameos when they happen in movies. This is the example of why you should not use an overabundance of cameos in your fucking movie. Every time when someone would pop up, like a Bill Murray or Dan Aykroyd or Ernie Hudson, it felt like it was wasted. Why did they even go on set? It was pointless. It was dumb. It took me out of the movie a little bit. And I was like, I don't really appreciate these cameos. Like, get them the fuck out of here. I didn't really care for any of the cameos. I gotta be honest with you. So, in terms of making that decision from the director and the producers and stuff, you should have kept them out, man. You really should have, because this is supposed to be a reboot. But you're going to have characters from the old Ghostbusters in this reboot while not having the original Ghostbusters tie into this one. So it's like, the fuck? Why are they playing different characters? So, yeah, whatever. It kind of bugs me quite a bit, but I'm just like, it's whatever. Let's get into the acting. I think, like I said, everyone, for the most part, worked really well in their roles. And I believed, 3 out of the 4 characters. And even though I didn't find the movie, like, super funny, except for a couple parts, I did find that all 4 of the women had great chemistry. So that's what was really weird. I seriously think that PG-13 shackled the hell out of them, and I kind of wish they would have went ape shit and just spouting off a bunch of F words like "fuck you, ghost," and shoot him in the asshole. Or whatever. No, we don't want that because that kind of already happens at the end. All right, moving on. So, Chris Hemsworth. I thought Chris Hemsworth was one of the funniest parts of the movie for sure. Yes, he played a very dumb dude, and he's portrayed as a dumb shit. However, he was funny. He was entertaining. He added a lot to the scenes he was in and stuff, and I felt like he was just really bringing it and stuff, and I totally liked Chris Hemsworth in the role. He was dumb as bricks, but God damn it, he was so lovable. Every other guy and every other side character in the movie is kind of an idiot, but that doesn't really faze me because overall, the story is entertaining enough and kind of silly enough to where, like, I'm okay with it, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Cinematography-wise, it's fine. The one thing I really hate about Sony Pictures and Universal Pictures especially, I don't know what it is with their comedies, but they always use this bright lighting, this soft lighting that they use in fucking soap operas, and it's like, why? It looks so fake. It looks like they were clearly walking on a set, and I'm just not fucking buying it. So the cinematography, for the most part, is very bright, soft. It looks like a hospital, and I'm not into that type of cinematography at all. So cinematography is okay at best. Editing and special effects. Now, the movie is, I believe, 2 hours long. And while it does slow down when the movie is definitely not funny, I did find myself slightly entertained more than I thought I would from beginning to end. And it was fine. It was like, oh, cool, I'm going on this little adventure with the Ghostbusters. I'm totally fine with that. But yeah, if you don't find this movie funny like I do for the majority of it, it's going to slow down quite a bit. It's going to kind of hinder your experience. But I think most people will probably get a kick out of it because all the kids were laughing at my audience and stuff, and most of the adults were. So I'm like, maybe this movie's more popular than I think I am, and maybe I'm just a grumpy old asshole. So special effects. This is another thing that drove me crazy. For a movie that cost $140 million fucking dollars, the ghosts themselves looked really cool. I actually really liked the facial features on the ghosts and the fact that they looked more human and stuff. And I found that to be really kind of interesting aesthetic-wise in terms of the ghosts and the way they looked. The proton blasters, shooter gun thingamajiggers, them shooting out the little beams or whatever, I thought that looked really cool. Here's where the special effects got really fucking stupid. Was at the end battle in New York, and it's not spoilers, it's in the trailers, it's the main climax of the movie. It looks so fucking green screeny. Like, and first of all, New York doesn't look anything like that. I've never been to New York, but I can guarantee you that it does not look like that. It looked like a fucking Universal ride. I was not buying it whatsoever. It looked extremely fake, and just takes you out of the movie. The main villain, I didn't like him at all, and nor do I like the creature that he becomes at the end. But I thought the special effects on that creature were really well done because he was like a giant like pillowcase, and you could see like kind of the creases in his feet and stuff, like when he was like, you know, moving his foot over the camera or whatever. So I thought he looked really great special effects wise. So I had no problem with him at all. So yeah, I guess that's my review. So overall, guys, listen, I think most of the humor does not work. It's very, very hit and miss. It's 80-20 split for me. I thought some of the special effects were great. The acting was fine. It was serviceable. The chemistry was great. Some of the characters were really great, like Chris Hemsworth and whatnot. The story is very average. The cinematography is very average. And you know, if they make a sequel, believe it or not, I'm actually going to probably go see it, but I'm not going to be excited for it. Is Ghostbusters 2016 version the worst fucking thing ever? No, it is not. Is it the best thing ever? No, it's not. I was going to give this movie a C when I walked out of this movie, but I'm going to drop it just a hair because the humor is not there as much as I thought it would be for a movie that claims to be a comedy. So for that very reason, I'm going to give Ghostbusters, the 2016 version, a C-. Should you go see it? Sure. If you're bored, go see it. I wouldn't recommend full price. Matinee is just fine. I do think it's a theater experience with all the special effects and kind of the action scenes and stuff. I think it lends to more a cinematic experience than most movies and stuff. But if you don't want to wait until it comes out on streaming or Redbox, I'm not going to fucking follow you. So what did you guys think of Ghostbusters 2016? Comment in the place for my face and let me know. And yeah, that's it for the first review. All right, so moving on to movie number 2, guys. The one that you were just so super excited to hear about is the Bryan Cranston-led The Infiltrator. Now, I saw this movie on Monday, so almost a week ago, and I wasn't really looking forward to it. I saw a trailer to it, and I was like, this looks interesting. But the reason why I wanted to see it is because my boy Bryan Cranston. If you look over here past my computer, I got a fucking Breaking Bad poster. It is one of my favorite shows of all time. I love the dude so much. And whenever he's in a movie, I'm totally on board. No matter what. If he wants to do a fucking porta potty commercial set in a Lowe's in the Midwest, I'm going to be like, that was a fucking masterpiece because it's Bryan Cranston. So The Infiltrator, I wasn't really looking forward to it, but with Bryan Cranston's involvement, I was a little bit more intrigued. So let's get real and break this down. So let's start with the writing and directing. In terms of the writing, even though it's a true story and we know what's going to happen towards the end, I did feel like the suspense was there. It was brimming all the way up until the end and stuff. I felt like it was kind of like a movie that would keep your attention and stuff and keep you intrigued. Even though you knew what was going to happen at the end, you were still kind of invested in the story and kind of like the tone and atmosphere and stuff. So I thought that was really well handled. In terms of the characters, the characters are fine, and I think Bryan Cranston delivers his character the best. There's moments of weakness in his character and what it means to go through the hellfire of being an infiltrator and stuff, and like little moments like with John Leguizamo's character, was just really kind of poignant. I'm like, that's what an infiltrator feels like. It was just really well told story elements and stuff, so I really like those little nuggets sprinkled throughout there. The one thing I don't really like about the story and the way it's written is the fact that the end feels like it's rushed. It feels like it's just, the movie's fine, it's progressing, sure, and it's done. And it's just, it felt like it was just wham, bam, 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 bam. So I didn't feel like there was a lot of room to breathe with the scenes or the characters and whatnot. And I found that to be the case with a few scenes. The scene would happen or whatnot, and then would just end and go to the next one. And I felt like they could have let that scene breathe a little bit more. I don't know. I just felt like a lot of things were rushed and sped up to get the movie over with, unfortunately. So as far as the directing goes, I'm not going to lie. It kind of reminds me of a TV movie, and I'm okay with that. Like, it's a well-done TV movie. And it's a very darkly lit movie. It's very seedy and stuff. And I feel like the director kind of really put us as the audience in that environment of, Pablo Escobar, cocaine, all that stuff in the 80s. I felt like he really put us in there, so I have no problem with that. But since it is a TV movie, some of the edge is lost a little bit, and this movie's definitely no Donnie Brasco because they have kind of a similar premise, but it is still engaging enough to where it will keep your interest. I just wish they kind of went a little bit more edgier with it. But some of the scenes are pretty gruesome and violent, so I do appreciate that for sure. As far as the acting goes, Bryan Cranston, once again, delivers. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be for a fucking snow cone commercial down the street, and he will still sell it. He's fine. Like, I really like him quite a bit. And Diane Kruger, them both were, like, really well handled, and I just thought their characters progressed in the right way. I thought some of the events that happened with their characters were very... it was weighted with tension and stuff, and I felt like they were in danger and whatnot. So I really like that. In terms of John Leguizamo, I thought John was really well handled. Like I said, there's one scene where there is like a poignant moment in the movie where it kind of shows you what it is to be an infiltrator, and I thought that was kind of really powerful from his character. Who else? Benjamin Bratt's in it. He's fine. He plays another drug person because that's all he fucking plays nowadays. The one person I didn't really care for, acting wise or character wise for that matter, is Amy Ryan. She just did not fit. I mean, she was there in a couple scenes and she didn't really make a difference. I mean, she kind of did in terms of progressing the case forward, but in reality, she didn't really do anything in the movie's sake. So I didn't really find her character compelling or whatever. She was a little flat, a little one-dimensional, whatever. I just all right. So that was the acting. So cinematography-wise, once again, like I said with the directing, the cinematography is very darkly lit. It's very seedy. It's grimy. It's gritty. It's set in Miami. I could feel the sweat from these characters. I felt like I was in the heat of the situation, literally and figuratively, and really kind of like engrossed in this world and stuff, even though it wasn't as edgy as I thought it would be. But I did like the way it was shot. It was shot very well in terms of the way the night scenes were filmed and just how gritty it looked and how grimy it looked and whatnot. It was really well handled with that. Editing-wise and special effects, well, there's really no special effects to talk about. Editing-wise, the movie is 2 hours long. Not going to lie, at first, at the very opening, I was hooked. I was like, yeah, this is some good shit. But the movie kind of trails off in the beginning and stuff, and like it didn't really find its footing for a while for me, so I was a little kind of bored and just kind of like, I don't want to really be here right now. But once it kind of picked up, I was a little bit more into it and stuff. But I think you'll still be overall intrigued if you like movies like a Donnie Brasco or whatever, when you have these infiltrator cops going into these situations, really kind of getting engrossed with the characters and stuff, and really kind of becoming them, kind of losing who they are as a person and stuff, and really kind of living this fantasy as if it's, realistic or whatever. So is it the best version of this type of movie? No, I think Donnie Brasco movies like that are way, way, way better. However, I think this is a very solid movie, and I actually gave it a higher grade during the week, during my review. But as I think about it, it's very forgettable, but I'm still going to say it's a solid TV movie, and it's a solid movie in general. There's really not like a bunch about it that's like super bad or anything, but it's a very solid movie, and I'm going to give The Infiltrator a solid B. Do you need to see this in theaters? No. I would say matinee is the highest that you should go for this movie, but you can wait for it till it's on TV or streaming or Redbox or whatever. I think it's still worth a watch for Bryan Cranston alone. So have you seen The Infiltrator, or have you even heard of it? Comment place with my face and let me know if you have seen this movie with the good old B. Cranston. And moving on, guys, to the last portion of the podcast is the box office results for the weekend. Let me pull it up because I'm lazy and I didn't pull it up. Let me take a drink real quick, guys. Sorry. Okay, so the top 5 results. Well, The Infiltrator came in at number 8 with $5.2 million, which is actually more than I thought it would make. His budget is unknown, but it's made 6.7 so far because it came out on Wednesday. Number 5, Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates was $7.5 million. Its total right now domestically, which is the U.S. and Canada, is 31. Worldwide is 38, and its budget is 33. Now, you guys hear me say this all the time. In order to break even, you have to double the budget, and you have to add a little bit for marketing stuff because the theaters got to take their cuts and whatnot. So it needs to make about, I'm going to say $70 million with marketing to break even. It's at 38. Don't think it's going to do it, but it's not really that good. It's very forgettable. Number 4 is Finding Dory. Remember this number because this is extremely close. $11.04 million. This movie is a truck, man. It's just fucking blazing through shit and just killing a bunch of people on the way. Domestically, it's at 445, which is really fucking high for a domestic movie. I'm going to look up the domestic numbers right now. Finding Dory is at number 11. And I'll guarantee you it can get up into the top 10 for sure. Because it's actually only like 15 million away from reaching number 8 spot, about 30 million away from getting number 7, and then it's like 100 million away from number 6. So it's definitely going to be in the top 10 domestic grosses of all time. That's really awesome. It deserves it. Worldwide, it's at 721. Don't know what the budget is, but I can guarantee that 721 is a fantastic number. Number 3 is The Legend of Tarzan with 11.1 million. So it actually outbeat Dory by like $80,000. It's crazy. The Legend of Tarzan, right now domestically it's at 103. Worldwide it's at 193, and its production budget is 180. So double that, you need 360. I'm gonna say with marketing, I'm gonna say about 380, maybe even 400 million to break even. It's at 193 right now. It's DOA. I'm sorry, that movie is done. I didn't see it, don't want to see it, so fucking sue me, right? Number 2, Ghostbusters, 2016 version with $46 million. Definitely a lot better than I expected. Domestically, it's at 46. Worldwide, it's at 65, and its budget is 144. So double that, it's 288. And with marketing, I'm gonna say about 300 to break even, maybe. But Paul Feig was saying it needs to make about 500 million just to make a sequel. So I have no fucking clue. But even if it's 500, it's only at 65 worldwide. That's not really good. So, and it's banned from China, by the way. Do you guys know that? So quick little story. Ghostbusters is actually banned from China because China has a strict policy over media with like the supernatural and ghost in it and stuff. So I find that really funny. So yeah, that movie's banned, and China's a huge market. So it's going to lose a lot of money for that. So, and then number 1 is The Secret Life of Pets with 50 million. It's 50% drop from last weekend. Last weekend was 103. Yeah, it's doing really good, by the way. So domestically, it's at 203. Worldwide, it's at 253. And its production budget is 75, so it needs to make about 150. I'm going to say about 200 probably to break even because they had a shit ton of marketing. 253, they're probably already making profit right now, which is really awesome. Illumination Entertainment, they are just killing it with the Despicable Me movies, the Minion movies, and now Secret Life of Pets. Good fucking job. So that will do it, guys. That is this week's episode of Real Me and Cole in the Movie Podcast. I want to thank you guys for listening, watching on Facebook, YouTube, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes. You guys are all fucking awesome. Next week for episode 139, it will be over the movie Lights Out and Star Trek Beyond. I'm super excited because I'm looking forward to both those movies. I love me a good horror film, especially after Conjuring 2. And I like the J.J. Abrams movies, even though this one's going to be directed by Fast and Furious 3, 4, 5, 6 Helmer, Justin Lin. So I'm really excited for next week, guys, episode 139. It will be pretty fucking dope. So yeah, all the news stories, trailers, movies, and stuff, comment in the place right over my face and keep the conversation going. I'll try to respond back as quickly as possible because you guys are just so fucking dope. I like you guys. You guys are pretty cool. I like you guys. No, I love you guys every single week. I'm glad that you guys tune in, watch, listen to me ramble about shit since I don't make sense half the time. You guys keep it going, faux show. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube and you want an audio-only version of the podcast, podcast link will be in the description below. And if you're listening on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, or iTunes, link will be in the description below if you want a video version as well. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, spread this around to your friends and tell them that this is the definitive movie podcast, and let's grow this audience, man. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now, and I want to keep it going. Just want to keep growing this little baby of mine. So that is episode 138, guys. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it is, let me pull it up here. It's at Real Chase Lee. Boom, right there at the bottom. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, boom, go on there. There's a movie review of Hillary's America, the secret history of the Democratic Party, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. So if you want to hear me rant on it, there you fucking go. Yeah, YouTube, all that stuff. Spreaker, you want to follow all that. iTunes, leave a comment, rate it, tell your friends that this is the only movie podcast that is worth listening to. I kid. I listen to a lot myself. I just like being a part of this community. So I'll see you guys next week for another episode of this crazy-ass show. And hey, listen, if you made it through this entire podcast and you are not a movie fan, well, hopefully I convinced you to be one. I'm Chase Lee, guys. Let's play that intro and outro music done by my friends band Fervent Rose. Link in the description below. Check it out. See you guys later. Bye-bye. Fucking Ghostbusters. Oh, man. I will see you guys later.